I love getting mail. It's one of my favorite things. I'm one of those people that as soon as I get a tracking number, I'm like checking it multiple times through today, hoping that it's been delivered a little early. But today I'm really excited about this one. Got a brand new package from Jackson Audio that I've been waiting on for a few days now, and this is the Golden Boy overdrive. I'm going to be pitting it head to head with my Broken Arrow, which has been one of my main overdrives for a little while now, and deciding if I should keep the Golden Boy, if I should keep the Broken Arrow, or if I should keep both. I hope this helps you decide if maybe you've been waiting for a demo like this, seeing the two compared side by side. I really hope this helps you make a decision. We're going to be walking through a few different settings, maybe seeing how close we can get each one to sound to the other, and then just diming them and seeing how nasty these things can get. Let's get into it. Alright, so here it is. Haven't taken it out of the box yet. Really hope there's a Golden Boy in here. Let's check it out. Little unboxing video bonus. Oh yeah. Always nice to see things packaged well. So here it is. Good looking box. About what you'd expect. I think it's sealed, yeah. In a nice bag, just like I expected. Same thing with my Broken Arrow. Let's get the box out of the way and get into it. Oh yeah, that's really golden. Really great color too. It's quite something to see in person. Everything that I saw online looked really good, but this is even better than I expected. One thing I have heard complain about, which we might get into, is the proximity of the MIDI jack that is 1/4 inch and also this 9-volt DC jack being really close together. So we'll see if that's a problem. I haven't had a problem with my non-MIDI Broken Arrow, but this could prove to be a little different. Again, really great color. I think they did a really great job on this one. I got one of the first 500, so it's got Joey Landreth's signature on the side. And yeah, everything looks great. No weird scuffs or scratches or anything. So let's jump into the demo. So I want to compare the green mode on the Broken Arrow with the green mode on the Golden Boy. So you don't have to guess where I'm set with the gain cycling. I'm going to leave both of them all the way up so it will correspond exactly with where you see these knobs set. So both of them right now are set in the exact same settings. So everything's at 12 o'clock more or less. And I just want to hear what both of these sound like in the green clipping mode. So here's my clean tone. I'm going to start with my neck pickup on my Suhr Classic S, and then I will switch to the bridge pickup, which is a Thornbucker. So here we go. So that's what it sounds like clean. Here's the Broken Arrow. The Golden Boy. So immediately I noticed that the Broken Arrow is a little more compressed in this mode, which is the most compressed of the two, or of the 4 modes rather. So we can assume that the Broken Arrow, with being the Tube Screamer circuit, has a little bit more compression than the Golden Boy, at least in this gain setting. The Golden Boy is also a good bit brighter. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of tweak these where I like to have my knobs set. So I kind of prefer the Broken Arrow, honestly, almost completely at noon. I scoop a little bit of mid-range. And on the Golden Boy, I'm going to cut back the treble just a little bit and boost the mid-range about as much. So now, in these two settings, on my neck pickup again, here's my clean tone. Here's the broken arrow. And the golden boy. So in that mode, they can sound kind of similar. You can get there by cutting the treble on the golden boy and cutting a little bit of the mid-range on the broken arrow to kind of compensate for the difference. Now, the biggest thing for me is the golden boy sounds more modern in general. It's got a tighter low end versus the broken arrow has a looser, kind of more vintage feeling low end. So depending on what you like, maybe you would prefer one of those two. Now here's where things get interesting. I'm going to max out the gain on both. I'm going to cut back the volume just to kind of compensate. And now we'll notice, whereas it seemed the broken arrow had more gain before, the golden boy between about 3 o'clock and 5 o'clock really increases a lot in gain. So I'm going to switch to my bridge pickup. It sounds like this. And I'm going to use the broken arrow first. And now we will go to the golden boy. So you'll notice there is a lot more gain on the golden boy in that setting. Next thing we're going to look at is the amber LED mode. So there's 4 different clipping modes in each one of the pedals. They're all the same, corresponding by color. So it goes from green to purple to blue to amber. Now, according to Brad Jackson of Jackson Audio, as you go up in mode from green, you get less compressed. This would be most compressed, a little less compressed even still, and the least compressed mode. So I find the amber LED on the broken arrow to actually be my favorite mode on the broken arrow, and I'm interested to see how the golden boy stacks up. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to put all of the knobs at noon on both pedals, and we will start there. Again, I'm going to make sure both of these are in the max gain cycle setting, so where you see the knob is the most amount of gain it will have there. Perfect. Alright, so let's start with the clean tone. This is on the neck pickup, still my Suhr Classic S. Sounds like this. I'll play some slightly higher inversions and chord voicings. Let's hear what that sounds like. And let's hear the broken arrow. Going to the golden boy. So immediately again we feel that the broken arrow, we see that the broken arrow has more gain in these earlier stages. The golden boy seems to really have a lot more on tap in that 3 to 5 o'clock position. So here in this mode, the golden boy sounds, a lot more transparent, a lot more in line with the gain range that I would actually use on a chord part like this. Let's just go ahead and max out the gain on both. And here where we are. Kind of playing the same thing. This is going to be a lot of gain on tap. So again, my clean tone. Let's go ahead and cut back the volume a little bit just to compensate. Broken arrow. Golden boy. Again, a lot of high end coming from the golden boy. I'm going to take just a second. I'm going to kind of dial this in where I think I would really like it and where I would use it on each of the pedals. If I were playing a part like this, the broken arrow again having a little more gain and kind of hairiness in the mid-range, I'm just going to kind of cut and play with that accordingly. Let's see what this sounds like. Let's start with the broken arrow. And golden boy. Alright, let's play a similar riff. I'm going to the bridge pickup, which is a Suhr Thornbucker. Let's hear that riff again, play a little differently. Broken arrow. Golden boy. And for our final test of these two independently, I want to hear how they clean up. So I'm going to increase the gain a good bit to where they're probably close to about even. Again, the golden boy having a lot more gain on tap. I will just go ahead and max that out. I'm going to kind of cut the treble because I know I'm going to want that. I want to boost the high end and the broken arrow a little bit to kind of try to get them close, and let's hear how they clean up. Starting with the broken arrow, I'm going to start on full volume on the bridge pickup. Here's the clean tone. Starting on full volume, then backing down to about half on my volume control. Knob set at half on the volume on the guitar. And golden boy, same thing. This is going to be maxed out on the bridge pickup. Goes to feedback pretty quick, a lot of gain there. Go into volume on half on the guitar. Sounds really great. Alright, so now let's hear how these guys stack. I'm going to be playing a little bit heavier riff, mostly just doing power chords with some open strings so you can get an idea. This will be my clean tone, and then you'll see me kick on the broken arrow and the golden boy, how they are set respectively. After that, I'm going to do the golden boy into the broken arrow, and then I'll swap them around real quick and do the broken arrow going into the golden boy. So here's my clean tone. Here's the kilt on its own. Here's the broken arrow, how it's currently set, and then I'll just kick on the kilt with it. Alright, now let's hear the Golden Boy. Set it a little gainier just for this comparison. Kilt on its own again, and then I'll kick on the Golden Boy. Sounds good. Alright, now let's hear how the Golden Boy sounds going into the Broken Arrow. I'm just going to set the Broken Arrow pretty close to where it is, and I may even leave the Golden Boy close. I'm going to back off the gain just a little bit. I want to set these how I would normally set them if I were using the Golden Boy as a first stage and then the Broken Arrow as kind of a second stage overdrive. So for this, I'm just going to be doing some cleaner chords. Sounds something like this. Without the Golden Boy first. Adding the Golden Boy. And just hearing the Broken Arrow. Now adding the Golden Boy. Alright, I'm going to quickly swap the two, and then I want to hear the Broken Arrow going into the Golden Boy. Alright, so we've got these two swapped. I want to hear how the Broken Arrow sounds going into the Golden Boy, and this time I'm going to set the Broken Arrow about where it was. I'm going to leave it set kind of dirty, and I'm going to kind of use the Golden Boy to sculpt the sound, maybe try to get a little bit of the mid-hump out, how I would actually use it in a live application or in a recording situation. So here is my clean tone, still my Suhr Classic S on the bridge pickup. Let's hear the Broken Arrow first. I'm going to scoop a little bit of that mid-range out with the Golden Boy, still leaving treble cut a little bit. Let's hear it, how it sounds clean on its own. Now with the Broken Arrow going into it. Still sounds really good both ways. I'm going to actually set this a little differently, pretending my Broken Arrow is going to be my lighter overdrive. Sounds good to me. Now I'm going to set my Golden Boy heavier. Still leaving both in the amber LED mode for now. I'm going to set my Golden Boy a little bit heavier and see what this sounds like. So just Broken Arrow. Now just Golden Boy. Now Broken Arrow into Golden Boy. So, I hope that was helpful. Here are just some of my closing thoughts on both of these pedals. The Broken Arrow is an incredible overdrive. It's really great. It really made me find a way to use a tube screamer style circuit, which I don't usually go for. Since it has such a great EQ, you can really get a lot out of it, and particularly in the amber mode, I find it very useful. I think all of the clipping options are great. Again, we just did the green and the amber in this video, but I think all of them are very usable. I find this pedal to be a great value as well, especially if you can find one of the earlier non-MIDI versions. You can usually find these around a couple $100 used, sometimes even less if you find a deal. And I think for that to have 4 different clipping options, 4 different boost options, which you didn't go over in this video, but there's plenty of stuff out there about it. I think this is a great value for an overdrive. And for me, for a while, was the main overdrive that I used. I had the Kilt set for fuzz, so I mostly just used this pedal. So highly recommend the Broken Arrow. Again, make your own decision, but I think this is really great. Now the Golden Boy, on the other hand, I don't think has the same value for money. Of course, with this version in particular, you have the option of 1/4" MIDI, which is great, but after talking with a pedal builder friend of mine who's also an engineer, he was explaining to me that you can't actually do presets or PC MIDI messages on this. So all that means is to change a MIDI parameter, you have to change multiple parameters at once, which can eat up a lot of your MIDI data, especially if you're using a simpler controller. While this isn't a huge gripe, it's something that I would have liked to have seen, and certainly think that they should have at least had some kind of USB slot on the back, like a lot of pedals have, to be able to update in the future. Because at this point, you'd have to send it back to them. Even if they choose to update it, you'd have to send it back, get them to do a complete overhaul, and then send it back to you. Again, not a huge deal, certainly not a big deal for me, but it is worth noting if you're looking at this and using a MIDI controller. That said, between the two, I prefer the Golden Boy. I like the modern sound a little bit more. It's a little bit tighter. It is a lot brighter, but I can find ways around that by just cutting back the treble because, again, they have an excellent EQ on this. Another thing worth noting, if you are using 1/4" MIDI, the 1/4" MIDI jack and the 9-volt DC jack are super close together. It's really hard to get a barrel plug in there, even using a small pancake end. Using square plugs, not as big of a deal, and again, not a deal breaker, but something worth noting. Since you can't really find these on the used market, these coming in after tax and shipping around $330, I don't think it's as good of a deal, but for me, it's the pedal that I prefer. So, I hope this video was helpful for you. Let me know in the comments which one you're going to pick up. Are you going to go with the Broken Arrow, or are you going to go with the Golden Boy? Leave me a like if this video was helpful, and if you want to stay tuned for more, hit the subscribe button and the bell icon. I've got a lot of stuff coming down the pipe I'm really excited for, so I hope to see you guys in the next one. See ya.